The town of Easton is proposing a new early elementary school using funds obtained locally in addition to a grant by the Massachusetts School Building Authority. The three primary school buildings in Easton, Center, Moreau, and Parkview, present significant challenges to a modern 21st century education. These challenges include overcrowding, traffic concerns, failing infrastructure, and an outdated facility that falls far short of meeting the educational programming needs of our youngest learners.
Hi, my name is Tom Higgins. I'm principal at Moreau Hall Elementary School here in Easton. This is my 6th year here as principal and my 19th in district. And I just want to show you around the school and see what our most needy areas are and give you an idea of what we deal with on a daily basis. So one of the first things that I think about in Moreau Hall is that this building was not built as a school originally. It was part of Stonehill College, and because of that fact, our classrooms don't have walls in between classrooms. It's probably one of the biggest things we deal with is noise and having students walk through multiple classrooms to either use the bathroom or to get to the cafeteria or the gymnasium or the library. So let me show you a few of those classrooms. So this is one example of a kindergarten class here at Moreau Hall. We have a hallway that runs directly through the classroom. On the other side of these cabinets is another kindergarten class. So as you can see, we don't have full walls in between the rooms. Our teachers do a great job of accommodating for that and trying to keep kids focused, but when multiple students and teachers are walking through your classroom on a daily basis, it can be difficult to keep kids focused and on task. Let me walk you down this way. One of the other issues I noticed early on here when I started as principal were the windows. These windows are original to this building, and we've had a lot of issues with them not being able to be opened. Some of them, once they are opened, we can't close them. The sashes are broken. Some of the panels, the window panes have fallen out before. So it is a hazard to both teachers and students. It's an area that's been a concern for me since I started here. So this is a 2nd grade classroom. This is one of the rooms here at Moreau Hall that during severe weather, the roof leaks. So we've had to replace quite a few ceiling tiles. Back about a month and a half ago, when we had that severe weather, we had pretty much a waterfall coming down the walls. DPW was awesome. They came over real quick, and our school custodians helped out, but we really had to kind of pull apart this classroom and take everything off the walls, which, you know, to a teacher to have your room upset like that can be difficult, to say the least. And as I said, it's bound to happen again because we live in New England and we have severe weather from time to time. There are still areas on the roof that, because of its construction, will leak during those times. Something else you may notice as we walk through these classrooms is a lack of storage. We're lucky enough that the walls that we do kind of have are storage units or cabinets, and over the years, certain principals or teachers have built onto those. But as you can see, as you look around, it's not always in the safest way. We make sure that things are put away neatly and cared for, but it's always a concern when you have a lot of things and no place to safely secure them. This area right here is our teacher prep area. We actually had a room that teachers used in the past, but we added on a new program here at school, and we needed to turn that room into a classroom. So now we have our laminating machine, our teacher computer, our Ellison, our paper cutter, paper shredder are kind of out here in this hallway, a little bit enclosed, but again, not the best place for materials like this that teachers need, where kids are walking through this hallway on a regular basis. This here is our gymnasium. So in this room we host both physical education and our art classes and any school assembly we might have. It's just about big enough to fit the whole school when we need it. Obviously we have to be creative with scheduling art and phys ed because they can't be here on the same day, and it can be a little bit difficult. We also have community get-togethers in here, back to school nights, things of that nature. Sometimes can be tough to fit the whole community in a space, especially when you're trying to deal with parking, which is another issue that we face. Our playground has a driveway runs through the middle of it, so it's not the safest for kids.
Yeah.
There's deliveries and things. Sometimes trucks show up to deliver in the middle of the day. We have to tell them, you can't deliver milk right now. We've got kids running around out here. And then back here is our boiler room. Our boiler, I believe, is from the 1940s, about 1946 or so from my recollection. And I know that when it does break down, it's really difficult to get parts because most of the parts for a system like this aren't made anymore. So we kind of have to piecemeal things together or get things that are similar to parts that would work. The heating and ventilation is an issue here at this school. We do have rooms that get very hot during the winter. We ask kids to come in layers so that they can take a sweatshirt off or be in a t-shirt, but then ask them to go outside for recess and put those layers back on. We did have an air quality test here at school, and we had a couple of areas that were in need of more ventilation, so our custodian, our DPW our electrician have been working on remedying those situations. But when you have an old system like this, a lot of the areas close to the boiler will get hot quickly, and areas that are farther away lack heat at times. And it's tricky when you have parents coming in and family meetings to make sure everyone feels comfortable. And when children aren't comfortable, it's tough to get them in a good mindset to learn. So this is another example of a shared space. This room is one large room, and within this space we have a first grade classroom here with a hallway running through the middle. We have another first grade classroom on the left. On the right we have our special education teacher's office, and then behind that is our occupational therapists. And then there are two small offices at the back which house our ELL teacher and our speech pathologist. And again, you can see the lack of storage, the amount of space that we use above these cabinets, and again, the lack of walls and having a hallway that runs directly through your classroom. Here is one of our computer carts, which houses our MacBooks. We also have Chromebooks in here. As you can see, not an ideal space for something like this. Again, we have extension cords running from outlets to these things that are over thresholds of doors, which makes for safety concerns, for usage concerns. So this is housed up here because we don't have an elevator here. We have a two-story school without an elevator. So we need to have access for our teachers and our students up here as well. Not ideal. We also have one of these carts in the library for downstairs. If you look to your left, we've got two windows that are propped open. As I said, they're windows that once you lift them open, they don't want to stay open. As you can see, our lobby is hosting a Scholastic Book Fair this week, so this is a place where we usually have a seating area for parents to come in, and we use all available space at all times. It can be tough. Again, this is where we welcome our families and our kids off the bus each morning, so it can get a little bit tricky navigating recess and lunches when you have to have your book fair right here in the lobby. So here we have two areas that were of concern when we did the air quality study. This room, which we use as a conference room, it's also used as an office for our special education coordinator, our school adjustment counselor, our school psychologist. Our preschool uses this room with students at times as a kind of a cool down space. So you can see a lot of goings on in this space. And it is a room that we don't have great ventilation in because there are no exchanges. We have a heating system, base heating on the floor, and then the two windows. But when the door is closed, carbon dioxide can build up in this space. It's not a threat, but it is, it makes people concerned when they hear that air quality is not great. And then the library behind the camera is the same thing. This library, when it was built, was intended to be and was the chapel, and now is our library. We also host music classes in here and then other special events as well. A lot of our whole school meetings with the teachers take place in here. And again, this is a room that some of the returns and the ventilation fans in the ceiling weren't working, and DPW and the custodians and the electricians are working on fixing those. But again, using space for lots and lots of reasons, multi-purpose rooms. We are lucky here that we have a separate cafeteria. I had worked at Center School, and to have to use the cafeteria, gymnasium, and music room all in one space is really difficult. So again, it's a scheduling issue, having library 2 days a week and then music 2 days a week, and making sure that we can use the space for what it was intended to be used for. A lot of the carpeting here is original to the building, so you have carpeting that's 50 years old, and then the newer carpet even is probably 15 to 20 years old. And again, our custodian crew does a great job cleaning them in the summer, but when you have carpeting that's that old, I'm sure there's bound to be overuse and things that air quality wise that are not great for kids. And the other thing is electrical in this building. We have a lot of electrical panels, and in the classrooms there really are just limited outlets for anything. There might be 1 or 2 outlets per classroom, and when we're trying to do technology things or plugging in iPads or computers or whatever it might be, it's really difficult. We have a lot of extension cords and spike bars and things of that nature to make sure that we can use those outlets effectively and not harm the electrical system in the school. That's about it from me. Thanks for taking this tour with me. We appreciate it, and we'll see you later.